Am I the asshole for giving my old, slightly damaged MacBook to my cat and not my sister? Okay, so I know this sounds a little ridiculous, so bear with me. Just last week I purchased a new MacBook for myself. My old one lasted me 5 years and is still technically working, but due to some water damage the speakers are completely fucked, the screen flickers quite a bit when not charging, and overall it's just slow. I have no use for it anymore. And #X200B. Regarding my cat, so I live in a fairly small apartment, and although it has windows there really isn't much to see besides a few trees and the parking lot really. I got my cat a few months ago and have a cat tree by the window, shelves and spaces so she can climb up high, and quite a few toys I play with. At first, my car had no problem hanging by the window, but eventually I noticed she started to get bored, and while I'm in the middle of working she would constantly meow or do mischievous things. I put on cat TV a few times for her and noticed she really enjoyed it and would stare at it for hours. However, I would put this on my new TV as this was really the only free screen I had. She would at times pounce at the TV, once almost knocking it back. And #X200B. After I got my brand new laptop I figured I'll barely get anything for selling my old one, I might as well use it for my cat. It's worked great. I put on cat TV on YouTube and have the back of the laptop screen against the wall beside me, so while I'm working she just sits there looking at the screen, occasionally pawing at it and then falling asleep. Of course I still play with her and give her plenty of pets, but I've found this is a great way to keep her mentally stimulated. This also prevents any concern of her damaging my electronics or hurting herself. And #X200B. I took a photo of her sitting and looking at the laptop because it looked like she was hard at work, and though it was funny, and sent it to my family. My brother and mom laughed, but my sister messaged me. And #X200B. Sister S, hey, you gave your MacBook to the cat. And #X200B. Me M, yes. Mine was pretty banged up and I needed a new one, and this keeps her occupied. And #X200B. S. Okay. Well, if you're no longer using it, can I have it? And #X200B. M. Well, there really is no point considering there are so many issues with it. It's not like the cat owns it. I just use it for her to keep her occupied when I feel like she needs to see more than just the parking lot. And #X200B. S. So you're gonna keep it for your cat rather than give it to me who needs it for school? MacBooks aren't cheap. And #X200B. M. I'm aware they aren't cheap, but there are other companies. And #X200B. This basically went on for a bit until she said I was being an inconsiderate asshole. If the MacBook was in better condition I would totally give it to her, but fixing the screen and speakers and replacing the battery will cost about the same or more as a mid-range Windows laptop. My mom and brother just kinda laughed at it and said not to worry, but my sister is being pretty cold with me. And #X200B. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. It's also probable if you gave it to her in the condition it was in, she'd complain you gave her a busted laptop. Gift horse and mouth and all that. Honestly, unless there's a specific reason you need a MacBook, drop the money on a different laptop that's not going to need so many repairs.
Not the asshole. And from your sister's attitude, it sounds like your cat deserves it more anyway.
Not the asshole. Your sister is acting pretty entitled over the MacBook, to say the least. You don't have any obligation to give it to her. Good job giving your cat a source of entertainment that won't result in a broken TV.
Cat tax. Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax. Not the asshole. This is adorable.
No assholes here, emo. People on here act as if siblings can't be a little prickly to each other. You should probably explain better that the laptop barely functions as is and you don't want her to have to sink money into repairing it, and you certainly won't either. From a surface level, I'd be upset too if my sibling gave their MacBook to their cat instead of me. She probably just doesn't understand that the laptop will just cause her more frustration than it's worth. Communicate better.
You are the asshole, obviously. Your sister is not entitled to it. Obviously. You have the right to decide what you want to do with your laptop. Reddit will even tell you that you can use it as a chopping board instead of letting your sister use it for school. At the end of the day, It would 10 out of 10 be a nice gesture to give it to your sister, especially when she is using it for school. Of course you can choose to use it as a cat TV, as a chopping board, or even as a fucking frisbee, but don't expect that your sister will not be upset that you choose those options over helping her out. Your sister should obviously bear the costs of any repairs though.
You are the asshole. I'm a cat owner myself. I know if you buy the cat a robotic bird toy for $20 it would be as or more entertained than the video. Cats are entertained by just about anything. They don't need MacBooks just for that. If the sister wants the MacBook for computer purposes, and you say, nah, it's a cat toy now, then you're being a shitty sibling.
Info. Does your sister currently have a computer? Is she doing online school? You are the asshole. Hook up your sister. Good lord.
Show me the cat tax. But not the asshole. Your sister is ridiculous. You are the asshole. Your sister is possibly struggling and your cat toy would improve her life. So what if the screen and speakers are broken? She can figure it out or deal with it. Especially if she doesn't have a laptop, she could greatly benefit from a half-working laptop.
Yeah, you are the asshole. You really did prioritize your cat higher than your sister.
Not the asshole. You said it yourself. Fixing it would end up just costing her the same if she bought her own, plus if she really need a laptop, Chromebooks are very cheap.
You are the asshole. You're putting your cat before your own family, which might be understandable if it was life or death for your cat, but it's not. Your sister clearly needs a PC. Really? No one asks for an old PC unless they really have no other options and need one. You think it's too busted to be useful, but that might not be her opinion. It might be functional enough for her needs and she might be able to fix its problems. Let her at least try the laptop and see if it meets her needs. If not, no harm. If it does work, then you're a good person. Against the grain, but you are the asshole. You should have offered it to her first. If she wanted to spend money on the repairs, she could, and then she'd have a perfectly good MacBook. For those saying 5 years is a long time for computers, I agree, but I am typing this from my 2012 MacBook Pro, which with some tweaks and upgrades runs like new. I once gave a less well-off cousin a laptop I considered as worth nothing but scrap. He was over the moon. Your sister might have appreciated it more than the cat.
Not the asshole. Even if it was in perfect condition, you're entitled to use it as you wish, because it's yours. Even if she needs a laptop, she does not need a MacBook, and she has no claim to yours.
You didn't give it to your cat. You're using it to entertain the cat, yes, but it's still yours. You didn't give it to your sister because you, the original owner, are still using it.
Was expecting to have a different sentiment based on the title, but not the asshole. Your sister sounds entitled. I don't want to imagine the things she'd say if you handed it over without repairing it first. One thing I've learned from incidents like this is to never share purchases like computers with friends or family. It always ends with open palms and criticism.
You are the asshole. Seriously, your cat is more important than your sister. Also, from an environmental perspective, it would be better to put it to good use, instead of using a fully usable computer as cat TV.
I do know that it's his laptop and he can do whatever he wants with it. I also understand my comment would be downvoted to hell because Americans take pleasure in putting pets over their siblings or even partners at times. But I feel he should offer to his sister well because she is his sister. In fact, she will love him if he can make it workable and give it to her. But I don't think he does not want to make her sister feel good. You are the asshole. You're allowed to do with your property as you like, but the way you framed it is putting your cat's leisure above your sister's education. You frame this as on the defense immediately. If you'd responded to your sister like, I looked into it and it's really not usable without being repaired for XX amount, then it would be a different story. You're the asshole because you didn't even consider your family before giving it to your cat. Not the asshole. You can do what you like with your stuff, and it sounds like she doesn't understand how beat up the laptop is.
Not the asshole. First of all, she's not entitled to your old MacBook. You are in fact still using it. Second of all, this is a really creative use of what is otherwise basically worthless tech at this point.
You are the asshole. I can't believe the other people on here. Why are you prioritizing a cat over your literal human sister? Don't you think that a $1,000 plus MacBook is slightly overkill for a cat toy? Go to Petco and get your cat a $5 toy, it'll be equally effective. Your sister could make far better use of a used computer than, you know, a cat. This Western mentality of, what's mine is mine, and everyone else can fuck off, has everybody deluded. Of course you have no obligation whatsoever to gift your used, no longer needed stuff to your family. But in this circumstance, it is quite obviously the kind and decent thing to do, especially if your sister needs a laptop for school. You are the asshole. No, she isn't entitled to it, and yes, it's your decision, but it's a dick move. I'm in school now, and if my siblings had another laptop and I needed it, they'd give it to me, no questions asked, because that's what family does. We help each other out. You can easily entertain your cat in other ways, or by getting an affordable kids tablet if you're that dead set on having your cat watch TV. For fuck's sake, cats do not need TV.
Not the asshole. And I 100% agrees with you. There are other companies. She would not have been the asshole if she stops after her first request. But to say, so you're gonna keep it for your cat rather than give it to me who needs it for school, that's just an entitled behavior.
Info. I'm sorry. Cat TV. Info. How much are you engaging with your cat? A young cat or kitten should be actively played with for 15 to 20 minutes, at least 4 to 6 times a day. Kitty TV is not active engagement. Cats will act out when their needs are not met, and they can become really destructive. Redirecting them to playing with toys when they're obviously bored will help you and your cat bond, and will give them a better quality of life. That said, your sister probably doesn't understand how shot your laptop is, and would probably be really frustrated by its problems.
YTA. Is this even a question? If your sister needs or even kinda wants something, she wins over a cat. Spend $20 on a decent toy for the cat. Well, you could show her how slow, damaged and bad it is so she can understand that the computer is busted, and only to show some videos and stuff, and that the computer is way too old to keep up with school.
You don't owe it to her, and she sounds hella annoying. However, since she legitimately needs it for a very good reason, you could have done her the kindness. Reddit tends to not give crap about people's real-life relationships. It's all me, secret everyone else, but also treat me like so angel. You're not very kind or thoughtful in this instance, and poor sister isn't an asshole for choosing to not deal with her cis bro who won't help her out. If you don't care, accept the consequences of not being there for her.
Not the asshole. My cat has my old barely functional iPad.
Cat tax. We need to see the photo, pleading face. Not the asshole. Sounds like your sis is being pretty entitled without reason. Your property is yours, and she shouldn't get mad you are using a mostly broken laptop in a way that allows you to be productive while working from home.
Nah, you're within your rights to keep the laptop, but she's not an asshole for asking or being upset that you chose your cat over her. I would say it would be nice to hook your sis up if the laptop can still do the basic things for school, but you're not the asshole for not giving it to her. My sister demanded my old Chromebook from school for years but immediately gave it back and got pissed at me when she realized that she can't play Fortnite or anything on it. I totally get not wanting to deal with that ungrateful drama. But if your sis needs a laptop for school, possibly not even forever, might be saving for a laptop but needs one for now, then maybe just let her have it. If she doesn't like the condition it's in, you can keep it for your cat.
You are the asshole. Are you really gonna give your laptop to your cat rather than your sister? I get it's broken, but so what? You don't have to fix it to give it to her. You just have to decide what's more important for you, your cat being lazily entertained or the future relationship of you and your sister.
I took a photo of her sitting and looking at the laptop because it looked like she was hard at work. Not the asshole 100%, but we should probably see this photo so we can determine for ourselves how productive she is. LMAO.
Not the asshole. Even if it was working doesn't mean she's entitled to it.
Can we see the photo of the cat sitting at the laptop, please?
You are the asshole. Cats don't need MacBooks no matter how much you try to spin the story in your favor.
You are the asshole. Reddit won't agree because they have a weird cat fetish, but your cat gains nothing from a MacBook.
Not the asshole. This post falls into a pool with a lot of posts on this subreddit with people feeling entitled to things or invites because they are family or friends. When you pay for something with your own money, you own it. You're allowed to do whatever you want with it. You can use it yourself. Let your cat use it or even throw it out if you want to.
Not the asshole. I didn't know about cat TV. Thanks. It's yours and can do what you want with it. Sister sounds very entitled.
Not the asshole. The computer is not in a good enough shape to be used for much else than cat entertainment. She should look at a Windows laptop instead.
Not the asshole. Look, even if the MacBook was in complete working order, you still wouldn't owe your sister anything. She needs a laptop. She should buy a laptop in her price range. She sounds like she would have complained about the condition and possibly expected you to repair it to like new condition before she accepted your crappy computer.
Not the asshole. No one is entitled to your old stuff, especially when you have a use for it. Enjoy. Little kitty. Smiling cat with heart eyes.
NTA. It would definitely be expensive as fuck to fix all the damage you've described, but more than that, no is a complete sentence. You still have a use for it, and you don't owe your sister your property.
Not the asshole. Even if you bought a new computer and used it for your cat, she is in no right of deciding what do you do with your things. Giving something free is one thing and other totally different requesting people to give it to you.
Not the asshole. This is a cat-themed iteration of feeling entitled to someone's phone charger because they have a higher battery percentage than you. It's yours and sister is being manipulative.